Good morning. Welcome to this morning service. It's another beautiful day. We had an opportunity to participate in the Bells for Peace this past weekend, last night and on Wednesday evening as well. And these two events were really international. We were able to through Zoom, have Mikami Sensei's family in Shimane join us. And on Wednesday evening, from Okayama, to have Ochiai-san join us as well. We still have to work on our Zoom production. Our production is kind of shaky yet, but at least we know that there's probably Sunday mornings that we are going to be able to stream our services somewhat successfully. It's good to have you join us this morning. We'll begin this morning service with the reading of Sambujo, followed by Junirai. Junirai is a gata composed by Nagarjuna. As many of you know, Nagarjuna is one of the 7 patriarchs of Jodo Shinshu that Shinran identifies as individuals who contribute to his understanding and appreciation of the Buddha Dharma. Nagarjuna, in this Gata Junirai, praises the virtues of Amida Buddha and expresses why he feels that this is the right path. Okay, so we'll begin then this morning's service again with the reading of Sambujo, followed by Junirai. Joy
Now let us read three treasures together. So please join me in Gasho. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teaching of the Buddhist one. Now we hear it. If do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be free from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us fervently take refuge in three treasures of truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way of enlightenment and awaken in ourselves a supreme will. I take refuge in Dhamma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of thy doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in a true accord in your way of harmony, in a spirit of a universal brotherhood, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, how hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine? Now we are able to hear it and receive it. Let us solely understand the true meaning of Buddha's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, thank you very much. So good morning, everyone. So before my Dhamma talk, I'd like to share a hymn written by Shinran Shonin. Please join in Gasho. Of those who encounter the power of a primal vow, no one passes by in vain. They are filled with the treasure ocean of virtues. The defiled waters of their blind passion not separated. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay. So first of all, I'd like to ask a question. Which do you think is greater between someone who graduated from highly selective universities, such as Harvard, Stanford, and Oxford universities, versus someone who learned at driving school? Maybe it's not properly a question, but because we don't need to compare with those two things. But when you're using common sense, what do you think? If you want to go to highly selective universities, maybe you can go to visit. But if you want to study there as a student, I think not everyone enrolled it. Maybe you need to study hard. On the other hand, if you want to enroll in driving school, anyone who want to learn how to drive can enroll. Maybe you must say is that someone who graduated from highly selective universities, such as are greater than the one who learned at driving school. There are things that only particular people can do, and the things that anyone can do in this world. If you use common sense, we put our value on something that limited people can do. The same is true of practices in Buddhism. Like many people have a stereotype toward Buddhism, many practitioners in some other sects try to achieve ascetic practices, such as standing under a waterfall, staying beside fire, secluding oneself in the mountain, practicing without sleeping and resting. These are all for attaining a revelation about themselves, which are not something anyone can easily do. On the other hand, anyone can recite and hear Namo Amida Butsu. Even if you're elderly person, child, sick or healthy, whenever you're in any situation, you can do it. What if you were asked, which is a greater practice? Probably the answer must be obvious again. Maybe ascetic practices sounds greater than Nembutsu. However, our founder Shinran Shonin and his master Honen Shonin broke the conventional mold. Namo Amida Butsu is filled with Amida's perfect virtues. and wisdom and compassion are all included in the name Namo Amida Butsu by Amida. You may think this is a practice we do because we recite and hear on our own voice. But Shiran Shonin and Honen Shonin reveal that Namo Amida Butsu is the very thing of Amida's true and real virtue. Then they showed us the truly excellent practice is the easy practice that anyone can accomplish. They changed how we value practice. The practitioners who accomplish difficult practices are actually fabulous because not everyone can make it easily. However, what about the value of practices itself? We don't know the value of the practice itself because in this case, the practitioners have the great enough ability to accomplish a practice by themselves. So value of the practice will be changed depending on the practitioner's abilities or motivations. In that respect, the easy practice which anyone can accomplish is great because it works on anyone regardless of difference of their abilities. This is how Shinan Shonin and Honen Shonin realized. My teacher told me the story to make me understand this before, so I'd like to share the story today. Once upon a time, there was a small village where about 100 people lived in. One day, one practitioner visited the village. The practitioner was a Buddhist priest who was achieving mountain asceticism. He happened to come across an elderly woman who had a pain in her knees. He suddenly put his hand on her suffered part. The practitioner started casting a spell in a loud voice, like, "Ha!" And he took out the secret medicine from his kimono and made her take the medicine. Then, surprisingly, the old lady said, "Oh, I feel like my knees are much better than before." Working on the street, he came across another old lady whose eyes were getting weaker. The practitioner put his hand on her eyes and casted the spell, like, "Ha!" again. And then he let her take his medicine in the same way. After his treatment, the old lady said, "Hey, I feel like my eyes got somehow better now." Then more than 100 people became a big fan of practitioner at the moment. Some people say, "Hey, I heard he has a special power." Others says, "Yeah, he's a psychic." However, most of them actually wondered if it was real. After a short time, the practitioner brought the big bathtub, maybe this Hondo big, to center of the public square in a small village. He filled it with cold water and started making a fire under the big bathtub. That is a Japanese old traditional, like old-fashioned furo, big bathtub. So the water in the bathtub already became bubbled and boiling water. Then, gradually, the villagers came together around the big bathtub. The practitioner waited for a good chance and suddenly started taking off his kimono powerfully. He shouted in a very loud voice to fire himself up, like, "Ha!" and diving into the extreme hot and boiling water. However, surprisingly, he didn't get any burn in his body. People supporting the practitioner oohed and awed at his amazing action. Some people exclaimed, "Oh, he's amazing!" Others were crying to see that. On the other hand, people who still doubted his power gave a black look and kept quiet because they were so surprised to see that. Then the practitioner pointed out to the person. That was an elderly Buddhist minister living in the village. He was the Jodo Shinshu minister by chance. The practitioner said to the Buddhist minister provocatively, "Hey, Reverend, it's your turn. Can you do this?" "Oh dear, I wonder if our Reverend will die." People were worried about the Buddhist minister and believed he couldn't do it because he was already old. However, the Buddhist minister pushed his way slowly through the crowd and stood in front of a big bathtub. The water became more bubbled and boiled than before. Beside the breathless audience, the Buddhist minister said in a loud voice, "Hey, somebody, bring some cold water." Some of the villagers brought him some buckets full of cold water, as he said. Then Buddhist minister suddenly took off his kimono powerfully again. He lifted up to his overhead. He started putting the bucket of the cold water into the bathtub, one after another, and stirred the water with his hand to see if it's a good temperature. He told people that, "Hey guys, it's already a good temperature to soak in. Why don't we bathe together?" Then people were happy to hear that and enjoy bathing with the Buddhist minister with everyone. As you know, the practitioner was great because he accomplished an extraordinary thing that everyone cannot do. Maybe I couldn't even bathe in the boiled water. This just showed us how great the practitioner was, but it doesn't mean the action to bathe in the boiled water was great. If anything, maybe the water which is comfortable for anyone to soak in was better than the hot water. This is just what Honen Shonin tried to tell us. The practitioners who accomplished the practices were of course amazing, but when it comes to the value of the practice itself, we can say the easy practice which anyone can do is greater than the difficult one. The easy practice which anyone can do is Nenbutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. As I said earlier, Namo Amida Butsu is filled with all Amida's virtue to assure every living thing to liberate him from the turbulence of sufferings. Honen Shonin tells us Amida Buddha, always stays our side to be able to get over sufferings whenever you are in any situation. Depending on Honen Shonin's understanding, Shinran Shonin also explains the meaning of Namo Amida Butsu in his main writing as follows. From the passage we see the word Namu means to take refuge. In term of take refuge, Kimyo, Ki means to arrive at. Myo means to act, to invite, to command, to teach, path, message, to device, to summon. Thus, Kimyo is a command of primal law calling to and summoning us, which means Namo Amida Butsu is calling from Amida to us and summoning us. Today we are fortunate that we are able to hear Amida's great and supreme wisdom and compassion with everyone here now. This is amazing. What we have received now, Namo Amida Butsu, is a great practice for us, from Amida. Because Amida's perfect and supreme virtues to make us attain enlightenment are all included. Let us appreciate Amida Buddha together with saying Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you for listening. So I'd like to conclude this my Dhamma talk with Nembutsu. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mikami Sensei. As we go about our lives, sometimes we are faced with frustrations or anger. We are reminded of how things don't always go according to what we want, what we plan. And we may respond in anger. But if we are mindful of this Namo Amida Butsu that calls to us, that affirms us as we are, without having to do anything, no great practice, no need to do anything extraordinary, except to be ourselves. We are already, as we are, taken in by Namo Amida Butsu. In this time of shelter in place, that doesn't seem like it's going to be over anytime soon. We will continue to provide as best as we can for the opportunities for us to hear the teachings of the Buddha, to hear the importance of the Nembutsu. Again, thank you very much for being here, for participating in our Sunday morning services. On September the 13th, in a little more than a couple of weeks, we'll begin our Dharma school, or our regular school schedule. We'll have a 9:30 Dharma school service, followed by a 10:10 English service, adult English service. And so please plan on joining us for that services. If you would like to, we encourage you to also register for our Dharma school. The Dharma school will meet in Zoom classes. I think it's going to be via Google Meet. And so you'll be able to meet in a classroom that your teachers will have prepared, and where your teachers will have prepared materials for you. So we're adapting. Buddhism reminds us everything is in a process of change. Not a matter of good or bad, but simply a condition of our lives. We, as human beings, sometimes have difficulties adapting, but sometimes we can find that these changes really are opportunities for us to think about ourselves, think about the world around us, and the importance of the Nembutsu that affirms us as we are with the resolution of difficulties. Again, thank you for being here this morning. Next week, we'll again have this service at 10 o'clock. Please join us for that. And again, thank you, Mikami Sensei, for this morning's Dharma talk. We look forward to seeing you again next week. If you please join in Gassho and Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amidos. Namo. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.